Hello, I'm Doug and my son Charlie had red skin syndrome, and I'm making this video to raise awareness for the condition. It's also known as topical steroid addiction. And so we were on Angler News the other week, and I'm just going to do a review of the video that was on. So let's have a look at it.
And then keep him going. That's it.
Like lots of 5-year-olds, Charlie loves his trains, but he's only just started to enjoy playing with them again because he used to be in constant pain.
As you can see, his skin just got worse and worse, and there's loads of footage where we were like changing his bandages every night. His skin was burning, it was oozing, it was flaking, it was horrendous.
His whole body was covered in itchy sores.
And it's very difficult to capture how bad the situation is. And his skin was just burning, and it was horrendous, and it was we just had to keep him cool with ice cold water and ice bandages, and he was just ripping his skin apart. No matter how much we cut his nails, no matter how much we tried to protect him, we just couldn't stop him from getting into his garments and ripping his skin apart. And it was the worst at night. You can't convey it in this kind of a video how bad it was. When I think about it at the time, I was just so distraught. It's really traumatic as a parent to watch your child suffer in that way.
But Charlie's parents were convinced it wasn't. They tried various different steroid creams for his eczema, but Charlie's skin kept getting worse. So 2 years ago, they decided to ignore medical advice and stop using the creams.
When you do this, it's like you're going against the doctors and all that, and family and friends question you and all that kind of stuff. But nothing else was working. If what the doctors had prescribed was working, we'd have continued doing that. But it just wasn't.
Yeah, again, because I was talking for about 10 minutes or so, it's not just that. It's not just that the therapy wasn't working. This is an iatrogenic condition, which means that the therapy is causing the condition. It's the reason why he got worse. It wasn't bad eczema spreading around his body. It was the misuse of steroid creams which made his skin get that bad in the first place. So it's not just that the doctors were prescribing the wrong thing. What they were doing was adding fuel to the fire.
Charlie was eventually diagnosed with a condition called red skin syndrome. It meant his skin got so used to the steroid creams that if the medication changed, he experienced withdrawal and had a severe reaction. His parents decided the only option was to break that cycle.
What happens is that when you actually withdraw the topical steroids sometimes, so you stop using them, that actually you get a big flare-up, a rebound effect of the eczema.
That's not true. This is exactly the reason. I don't know this lady dermatologist. I assume she's a dermatologist because the video that I'm watching doesn't have her name and her position on here. But that's not true. Let's just play that again. Hang on a second.
Stop using them, that actually you get a big flare-up, a rebound effect of the eczema.
It's not a rebound effect of the eczema. It's a delayed reaction to the use of the steroid creams. This is where the misconception's coming in. It's not a rebound of eczema. It's not the underlying eczema getting worse. What it is, it's a rebound effect to the use of steroid creams. This is the thing, is that you can get topical steroid addiction even if you don't have an underlying skin rash, even if you don't have eczema. There are caregivers that put on the topical steroids on their children. If they don't wash their hands correctly, they'll get itching, they'll get burning. They don't even have a skin problem. It's not eczema.
So the eczema actually gets worse, and that's why it's called red skin syndrome. It's rare.
No, that's not true either. It's called red skin syndrome because what happens is steroids close blood vessels down, and what's happening in the result is some of these atopic patients is that when you stop applying the steroid cream, it vasodilates, so they go red. That's why it's called red skin syndrome. Because of the vasodilatation in the blood vessels and the excessive amount of nitric oxide that's pumped through the vascular system as a rebound to the use of steroid creams. And the only thing that can really cool that skin down and constrict those blood vessels is ice, because eczema does not burn.
And it's extremely debilitating. I mean, I've only seen it once or twice in my entire professional life.
Yeah, that's exactly right. She has only seen it once or twice in her professional life because of the misdiagnosis, because it's not eczema. It's not a rebound of eczema. It's a drug reaction and a drug addiction, and it requires withdrawal. The reason why they haven't seen it that much is because they're misdiagnosing it and mistreating it. That's why it exists in the first place. That's why it's an iatrogenic condition.
Steroid creams are an effective treatment for many people with eczema, but Charlie's parents are glad they stopped using them.
That is true. I mean, like, if you've got a little bit of eczema and you have a bit of steroid cream on by a well-trained dermatologist that puts it on the right place in the right area for the right amount of time, then steroid creams are an effective tool, and I'm not anti-steroid in any way whatsoever. It's just used in moderation. It's used appropriately on the right patient at the right time. But that's not what's happening. What's happening is people are being overprescribed steroid creams. They're on it for long periods of time, and the steroids are being absorbed into the body and are damaging the blood vessels. And so they develop a chemical dependency on the steroid cream. What happens when you stop the steroid is you have all the symptoms of withdrawal, because you're a drug addict and you require withdrawal. You can't taper down from this. And also, due to tachyphylaxis, what happens is you'll put the steroid cream on and then it just stops working. You're still itching, it's still like getting hot and all that kind of stuff. So they put a stronger steroid cream on and it makes the problem worse, and they add more fuel to the fire because they don't understand that it's not eczema. It's a delayed drug reaction. What's happening is you're putting the steroid cream on, and it's a wonder drug. It will clear up your skin. But then what happens is when the potency of the drug wears off, it creates so many other issues. It takes the average person that's addicted to steroids 1 to 4 years to go through withdrawal. So it's a very long, arduous process, and it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Charlie's recovering well and enjoying life again. His parents are hoping his story will raise awareness about his condition.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that I'm not telling anyone to not take steroids, you know. It's just raising awareness for steroid abuse, and it's usually steroid abuse from dermatologists over prescribing, because they haven't got a huge amount of tools in their toolbox, you know, to treat skin conditions, and steroids are a very effective way of doing it. Eczema or atopic dermatitis is primarily due to a lack of filaggrin in the skin's protein barrier. So basically what happens is the skin gets very dry, and it requires better protection, like through soak and seal and protecting the skin's boundary, so that it maintains the moisture, so that the skin doesn't dry out. But that's not what this is. The severity of this is eczema, okay, and this is red skin syndrome. The severity of it, if you've ever had a little bit of eczema or a little bit of a rash, and you know how annoying it was, this is just off the charts. This is something completely different, because this is a man-made reaction, a bad reaction to an artificial drug that's been administered. It's a chemical addiction. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope it's been helpful.
I'd just like to clarify that I'm not a doctor and I have no medical training. Everything that I've said in this video has been my understanding of this condition. If you'd like more information on red skin syndrome, I'd recommend checking out www.redskinssyndrome.com. If you'd like to see more of these videos, subscribe now. Also, if you're watching this on Facebook, please like and share the information.